What is up, people? I am almost certainly real, back at it again here with 20 Minutes to Dawn, another one of our sort of endless done quick series. I'm going to take you through a little bit of the start here, a little bit of our early pickups, and then we'll start jumping ahead, running things a little bit faster here. So we are Shauna, that is the base character, looking for that extra experience, the 3x chest, and then really the reroll. It just makes this a lot easier to do. So we are going for a build that I can AFK overnight. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm really looking for the ghosts and freeze. That's kind of going to be the core of this build. The endless mode has undergone quite a few patches. Right now, the version we're playing actually only has 3 upgrades available. I thought that there was 5 upgrades available when I first started playing this. For our 3x chests, we want to get the frostbite, which is the percentage HP damage on freeze, and then also I think the ghosts and ghost projectiles are the other 2 things that you want to get, but I definitely did not get those because I did not realize we were going to get capped out on 3 upgrades. I thought we could go all the way to 5. Other than that, really just getting the knife and dual wield for the summon mastery is kind of the only other things we're looking for. Oh, I say that, but also magic lens. Yeah, we just picked that up there. So let's start fast forwarding now. One of the nice things about this build is the ghosts themselves are actually quite strong. The grenade launcher is actually probably a little bit of a better choice as a starting weapon, but I picked up the crossbow just for fun, had not used it as much as the grenade launcher. I feel like I kind of always go for that as my starting weapon, just kind of running around, sniping stuff. And then once you get a couple of those ghosts up and a couple of the additional projectiles we just got there, the ghosts actually start to be pretty strong because those additional projectiles as well as the number of ghosts kind of multiply together along with that summon damage and summon attack speed. So we got ourselves the Halo upgrade there. That is not what we want at all, just looking for the experience and the 3x one. Once you get the in sync upgrade, you can kind of start pointing the cursor just at your own character, sort of shoot it yourself, and that is going to cause the ghost to sort of do a bit of a 360. You definitely need a little bit more, I think, attack speed to be super reliable, but we'll see here at the 6-minute mark. We got ourselves the Tome of Summoning, and we start to use kind of the ghost primarily and stop using our weapon right. You can see that it creates kind of that 360 effect because all of the ghosts are sort of spread out and they sort of pierce through you. It'll be a lot more reliable later on once we get more attack speed, and also the lenses. We do need more of them, and we also need... I think I get 1 level of focal point. I don't think you want more because there is a max projectile speed, but you can see there, yeah, that is pretty reliable, and our damage just off of those balls is already good enough. And I think, no, we don't pick up the freeze there. Do we already? I think we already have 1 level of freeze. So there's focal point, and you can see those big balls start to come in, and we melt that boss pretty quickly, get ourselves another lens there. Yeah, and then we're up to those 3 lenses, and you can kind of see as we create this very nice little 360. There we go, we got the frost. So there's frostbite, our first level in it. You do want to get, I think you want to get 1 3x chest with frostbite. Shatter is kind of useful, but I don't know, there's not that many enemies in this mode in endless. They don't really stack up as long as you're killing them fast enough. And you can see here, this is kind of what more or less, to be honest, the rest of the build looks like. We don't actually have enough juice to AFK right now, but as we get more attack speed, we get more, or sorry, we get more summon attack speed, we're gonna do better and better. Along with more frostbite levels, we can start to kill those bosses off screen. I actually did a build of this before that was kind of similar. I think I got up to 100 minutes, and it was actually quite a bit better because I had a 3x, some better 3x chest drops. You can see there sort of what it looks like in real time. So here is the 13-minute boss. Any of the bosses we can knock back, we can already kind of just AFK kill because we're going to sort of freeze and knock them back. And that works really well against the regular enemies too, because we essentially just freeze them, knock them back, and those projectiles that the ghosts shoot out sort of are always pushing them out into a zone where we're constantly refreezing. We get ourselves a 3x upgrade here. Those are what we're looking for. Ideally getting, again, the ghost projectiles, and then also the frostbite. So there we go. Always take that frostbite for sure for a 3x chest. Very nice to get that early on. One thing to keep in mind with the frost is you do the percentage damage on freeze. And what's key about that is it does not do it when something's already frozen. So you kind of want to not get a crazy amount of percentage chance to freeze. I think I do end up getting 3 levels because the balls are always going to sort of push back the easy enemies into an area where you're not refreezing them. And then for the bosses, they sort of unfreeze 10 times faster than the regular enemies. So they're unfreezing pretty quickly, and you need kind of a crazy amount of projectiles and attack speed to actually perma-freeze them. And yeah, the ghosts, we get good AoE coverage, but they're not like crazy fast shooting. Okay, so this is the 80-minute boss now. You can see we've got ourselves quite a few projectiles. We've got ourselves quite a lot of life and regen. I just got myself an additional level because I wanted to make sure that as we went AFK, I had sort of not a lot of experience, just in case we got a little bit of experience here and there. Pretty unlikely because we freeze stuff and push it back pretty reliably. Definitely weaker than the first time I did this build, and I had myself additional projectiles. I was consistently off-screening the bosses, but we do have quite a lot of regen, and I think we go up here and pick up that curse, the last thing we get before going AFK. I'm already basically AFK. You can see me kind of alt-tab back into the game there, but decided I wanted a little bit more attack speed. My main concern wasn't actually really like killing stuff and taking damage, is I just didn't want to get pushed around by that laser beam to the point where I got pushed into experience or pushed into picking up a curse. That was actually my main concern rather than actually taking damage. So let's jump ahead maybe to the middle of the night, what that looks like. Okay, so this is about 3-4 hours ahead. You can see there we've got quite a few chests and curses there on the ground. But if you look at the timer, it's definitely not that much amount of time ahead. But yeah, the game just starts lagging so much that the game speed slows down. So it's not actually really going at a 1-for-1. And I think that is just due to the experience. Unfortunately, it just ends up being really laggy. Not sure exactly why. Probably the experience is checking the hit collisions against my projectiles. Unfortunately, that ends up being rather expensive. I am a little surprised because I do know Unity has collision groups, so I don't know, maybe it's just the number of things on the ground there, the number of experienced things on the ground there, and the fact that it's just in the collision group with my character, but I wouldn't really expect that to be that laggy. A little difficult to figure out what is actually causing the game without actually profiling the game yourself, but yeah, it definitely starts to slow down here to the point where not a whole lot is going on. I think we just off-screened the boss. I'm not sure if I saw him come onto the screen or not. But yeah, that is sort of what it looks like. Okay, so here we are in the morning. In my recording, it's like over 9 hours, almost 10 hours. But you can see up there on the timer, it's like 253 minutes, which is kind of, a little bit over 4 hours, almost 4.5 hours. But yeah, the game speed, you can see running not really at real time. And I'm just trying to, I kind of thought maybe if I went to go pick up the experience, then I could get it to run a little bit faster, but this is just actually running incredibly slowly, and I'm gonna just speed it up here. So what we're watching now is actually at 5 times speed, which actually more or less feels like it is still a little bit slow. So you can imagine that this was a little bit painful IRL, and I essentially just gave up on trying to pick up all this experience and went ahead and killed myself. You can actually see there, it takes a little while for us to die off, but there is the run, and there is our rank 1. I'm not sure how accurate that is. I did see, like before I was rank 2000 and something. The leaderboard maybe got reset because I think the Endless came out of beta. To be honest, I'm surprised that the top of the leaderboard's not just hacked. Yeah, you can see here our other 3x upgrades are Assassinate, and then what else? Where is my other 3x? Oh, I got a bounce, a lens bounce early on. I actually think I skipped over that in the video probably. But yeah, those two were kind of useless there, but the 3x on the Frostbite, definitely super useful. If you were to do this, I think you try to get 3x on the Ghosts, 3x on Frostbite, and then 3x on the sort of the number of projectiles from the Ghosts. I think the Frostbite's the most important, and the other ones are less important there. And then it's just a matter of stacking up enough summon attack speed from the curses that you can just sort of AFK and off-screen those more difficult bosses. But yeah, if you are looking to get a big score, this is a pretty easy way to do it, because you can start going AFK pretty early on, and as long as you get enough ghosts early on in the game, that carries you, right? You don't really have to worry about like, oh, I need to get something else early on, because this build only really comes online once I get a bunch of stuff. The ghosts actually are pretty strong from the very beginning. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will probably, as they add patches to Endless, maybe mess around and try out some different stuff there. I'm hoping that they do add a patch there for the lag, and that will definitely make it a little bit more interesting to come up with these kind of builds that you can leave AFK overnight. Oh, yeah, also might look at modding the game. They did mention in the patch notes they were going to add workshop support for that. So if you're interested in videos on that, or if you have some ideas of some quick, easy mods that might be fun, do post a comment. I might make some videos about how to do that if people are interested. Anyways, as per usual, I am off rambling at the end of the video. I will let you guys go. Thank you again for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe.